Welcome to my first YouTube video. If you know me, you will know that I don't usually wake up this early. It's around 9 a.m. right now in Berlin, but I just wanted to share my morning with you and tell you a little bit about myself. If you don't know me, if you know me and want to know a little bit more. So today we're just gonna talk a little bit about my story, and also I'll reply to some questions that I've gotten asked recently. But yeah, let's get to it while I make my breakfast. So today I am going to have some matcha latte and some toast with cream cheese, I think. But it is my usual. I usually have this every morning because I am not creative and I'm also not so hungry in the morning, so I always have to eat something that is like easy for me to process. So let me tell you a little bit about myself and how I ended up in Berlin. I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina. I grew up there. I was born there. I lived there until I was 18, and then I was studying film at the time. Animation to be specific. I actually started my animation career and then I decided to change to photography direction. Then I didn't really feel like any of that. I don't know, I didn't feel like it felt like me or like what I wanted to do. And I was a little bit like conflicted on whether I should continue with my career or if I should try something new. I've decided to come to Europe for a little bit, and my plan was never to stay forever. I wanted to just come for some time to explore a little bit how life was here, and also because I was so grateful to have the opportunity to just come to Europe because I have a European passport, which is a big plus if you're from South America. I don't know, I just thought maybe I'll just come and see what life's about here because everyone talks so much about Europe and I've never lived here before. I've been on holiday, but I've never been for a long period of time, so I just thought, let's give it a shot. And yeah, I mean, I just decided to come to Berlin because I've heard that it was like a big creative city and that it was so good for artists and especially people who were trying to like find their style in art or like learn new things. And as well, I was just kind of looking for something that was a bit different than what I was used to, because I went to Spain first and I felt like it was so similar to Argentina and I just wanted to experience something new. So I just thought like, why not come to Berlin and learn some German and see what I want to do with my life. And yeah, here I am, like 6 years later. So yeah, let's get to the match. I always like to measure my bowl with a little scale. And I don't know if it's the correct amount, but I like to put around 3 grams of matcha, then 30 grams of water, 40 grams of water, and then this is the cup that I usually use. And no matter how cold the weather is outside, I am always gonna want an iced matcha latte. I just don't know, it just tastes better. I moved to Berlin, and at the beginning I was really into photography, so I really wanted to do something related to that. I mainly was working doing photography for musicians, which had a bunch of friends who were making music and always needed photos or art direction or video clips. So I was mainly just like working doing that. But of course, the life of an artist, you don't really make a lot of money. And I was kind of struggling to pay my bills. So I've decided to get a job at a cafe. And I worked at a few cafes in Berlin. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. And actually, I think I've said this to many of my clients, like that I sometimes romanticize when I was a barista. And I really miss doing that. Like, I just really liked it. It was really nice to like meet people that would come to the cafe every day and like they would drink your coffee to start their day. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I mean, I'm really passionate about coffee and matcha and every like beverage that you can get in a cafe. For me, it was a really nice job. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. But so while I was working as a photographer and a barista, I was really trying to grow myself as an artist. So I was spending a lot of time drawing and illustrating and painting, which is something that I don't feel like I have that much time anymore to do. I always been interested in the tattoo industry, and I had tattoos myself, and I just thought like I just really wanted to like try or like get to know a little bit more about how the industry was. And since I like to draw a lot, I thought, okay, maybe this could be something that I will enjoy. So it really just started kind of like a hobby, and I don't know, I just really like fell in love with it. I really liked it. I thought it was really fun, and I think what I liked the most was the challenge, because tattooing is really hard. I mean, not anymore, but once you've learned, it is better. But learning how to tattoo is quite hard, and it's quite like, I don't know, quite stressful, I would say. For me, it was kind of like, I don't know, a lot of pressure and a lot of responsibility. And when you don't really know what you're doing, then you have to do it to learn to do tattoos on people, you know, forever. I don't know. I remember it being so stressful. Yeah, basically I continued learning and training myself so the process would be enjoyable and not anymore like such a stressful thing. Basically that's how the idea of tattooing happened, and basically how I started. I just need you guys to see, because this is my favorite part ever of making matcha. So we got our milk with our eyes, and then, oh, you can't see that. You can't see it. My hand is covering it. Ta-da! This color is the color you want to have your matcha. Like, it has to be like a bright green. I hate when it's brownish. Like, that's just not tasty. It's just not gonna be good. I'm excited to have the first taste. So good! Alright, let's get to it. Do you have a favorite kind of design to tattoo? Maybe animals or more abstract things? I think that it changes depending on I think it depends on my mood. It depends on my aesthetic at the time. I feel like nowadays I'm really into ornamental pieces, but I also like to do custom designs, and I especially love when people bring me photos of their cute little pets, and then I have to draw them, and I think that it makes me so happy when I see the photos and I'm like, why are they so cute? The other question I will reply is, how do you find your tattoo style? And I do feel like that one is also a very frequently asked question. So I think like the way that I developed my style, it took a long time and many years of practice, but I think it kind of started with drawing things that I like, drawing things that I am obsessed with, drawing things that remind me of happy times or remind me of my childhood or my grandparents' home. So I'm always looking, I feel like I'm always diving deep into my emotions, into my nostalgia, and into what I like. Sometimes it's not even that deep. Sometimes it's like, oh my god, I saw these shoes and I really love them and I think they would be a cute design. Not kidding. Hi, I wanted to start tattooing, but I don't know where to start. I was wondering what you did first when you got your tattoo machine and how long it took for practice before you started doing it on people. I think I'm gonna connect this question with something that people ask me a lot, which is like if I have any tips for tattoo artists, because that's also something I get asked a lot, and I think maybe we can just close up with that. But I literally think I needed a solid year of practice to actually feel comfortable on what I was doing. It is really hard to feel comfortable, like I said before, because it's such a big responsibility. So I think for me what was the best was to not waste too much time on the fake skin, because the fake skin really does feel different than the real skin. So I think the good thing about the fake skin is that you can kind of feel how the machine works, and like, you know, machines, the two machines vibrate, so like you kind of get used to that feeling first before you go into skin. But the needle depth and the smoothness of a line you won't really learn until you're tattooing on people. So I think one of my best tips, or like one of my biggest tips or whatever, when you're starting, is if you can practice on people first, that's amazing. Like obviously first get the feeling of the machine and everything like I've said, but if you can start practicing on people, I wouldn't recommend doing big pieces. Maybe just do tiny hearts, tiny sparkles, smiley faces, just very simple designs, but just so you get a little bit of the idea of the depth of the skin. The biggest mistake I made was to buy things off Amazon, because the materials aren't really good, the inks aren't good quality, the needles are blunt, they're not good, and the machines usually are powerless. So I think what you really need when you start is to start from the beginning buying good materials, like good quality materials, especially needles and ink, because that makes a difference. Like I swear, the moment I changed from buying tattoo supplies that were cheap and off Amazon, and I started buying like professional, a lot more expensive supplies, my work improved like, I don't know, 20 times. Like it was just a big shock for me, because I never really thought that would make a difference. I thought your technique makes a difference, but it's everything combined. If you want any recommendations on ink brands and needle brands or machines, you can send me a message on Instagram. There's my Instagram there, and I can help you, give you all the advice that I can. I hope this video was fun and not boring and long, and I promise next video will be a lot shorter. But I thought this would be a cute introduction video for us to get to know each other. And if you already know me, doesn't matter. Thank you for sticking around. I love you, and I hope you have a nice day.